Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from the beautiful metaverse and more specifically from beautiful Danville, Illinois, and beautiful Gaia Thrift where I am today. And if you're in the Danville area, please come down and see us. We have many year-end specials. And my subject matter for today is in the nature of year-end specials. I'm going to talk about the Epagamenal days and what that means and what it means to you. Meanwhile, as you know, if you follow Midday with Reverend Don, you can type your questions or comments onto whatever platform you might be watching on, and they'll show up here in my chat room. The chat room is on the screen today because we do not have a guest, and we can talk directly. So, what are the Epagamenal days? Many historic calendars did not have the same number of days as the actual physical year, that is to say, the length of the Earth's rotation around the sun. And therefore, they would have extra days that were not part of the previous year or the next year, but stood apart on their own. And these are called epagamenal days. In some cases, it's an epagamenal month. And hello to Swackfan in the chat room. It's good to see you, Swackfan. And hello to Janet Winston in the chat room. It's good to see you, Janet. The idea of an epagamenal period such as this, whether it's an epagamenal day, an epagamenal month, or what have you, is that it's a time outside of time. It is neither the year that has ended nor the year that is beginning. And I always tend to think of this period between the ambient holiday and the calendrical new year as kind of being like that. For a lot of people, it is kind of a time off period. And hello to CDC in the chat room. It's good to see you. Kind of a time off period when they're really in between things. They have time to look within. And as I was saying not too long ago, we look at winter as being a time for introspection, a time to look within our hearts, a time to consider where we are and where we're going. And I think this particular time, let's say between Yule and the calendrical New Year, is the height of that period of really looking within yourself. And probably the most famous epagamenal period was in ancient Egypt, where they had 5 epagamenal days dedicated to 5 of their primary deities, not in order, but Osiris and Isis, Set and Nephthys, and Horus, the children of Nut and Geb. And these 5 days were, again, neither part of the year that ended nor the new year. They were their own special time. In Judaism and in, I believe, Islam, there are epagamenal months. And there are other calendars that work this way as well. For us, if we look at this period as being perhaps not literally epagamenal, but effectively epagamenal, this is the time to take a step back from our daily life. A time to kind of relax, not be overburdened by things, and take an emotional step back from everything and then look at it more clearly. Look at what we've done in the year that's ending and what we hope for in the year that's starting. And these last several years have seemed very momentous to me. I don't know if I'd really say they were more momentous than any other years, but it seemed like there was a lot of importance writing on this period in time. And I feel that as we go into the new year, we're really moving into a change, and very much a crucial moment in that changing of the age from the Piscean age, which has ended some time ago, and into the fullness of the Aquarian age. As you know, in the Corellian system, we are currently in the 24th year of the Aquarian age. There are different systems for charting when the Aquarian age begins, depending on your philosophical background. There has never been an agreement on it. I gather that many online systems are in more agreement, but still, there's not historically been an agreement. And hello to Zane in the chat room, and hello to Reverend Mary in the chat room. It's good to see you both. But in the Corellian system, we're in the 24th year. But the change of age is a process, not an event. And we have many more years to ease our way into the Aquarian age, or bulldoze our way into it, depending on how that happens. And there will be many more moments of importance in shaping that age. If you follow Aquarian teachings or follow Corellian teachings, you'll know that we have said that we were the midwives of the new age. Not necessarily the only midwives of the new age, but among the midwives of the new age. But in recent years, no longer that, but rather, I don't know what we would say, the nannies of the new age. We're past the birth, we're into the upbringing. And if we want that age to reflect our values, if we want it to reflect what is important to us, we must focus on that now. If we let it form itself and we merely react to it, it will do what it needs to do, but it may not be what we want it to do. And the sign of Aquarius, like all other astrological signs, has both good and bad aspects to it. And which will be predominant? Well, they're both going to be predominant, as they were in the age of Pisces. If you look at the age of Pisces, you can see the strong aspect of Pisces and the negative aspects of Pisces, both at different times and in different places. It will be the same with Aquarius. But what part of this do we get? And my answer to that is that we get what we build. We get where we put our attention. Yes, we're working with these energies, but what are we doing with them? This brings us back to what I always say about magic, that it's a matter of attuning yourself in a natural manner to what is happening. When we look at astrology, some people, when things like a Mercury retrograde happens, they run and hide under their beds. That is not what you're supposed to do with astrology. Instead, you look at what's happening and you make practical decisions of how to use it for your benefit. Sometimes you may want to avoid certain things, but you don't hide under the bed. When we work magic, often we're using the natural forces of the universe to help us to create the things we want. I talk about stones frequently. I have my new book coming out in the new year, Rev Don's book of stones, metals, and crystals. And it talks about all the different energies of stones and how you use them. But that's what you do. You use those natural energies to help you to get where you want to be. The same is true for incense and anything else that you might be using in magic. If you're using charms and talismans, you're using them to use their natural energy to help you to focus the energy toward where you want to be, not just to passively go along. Magic is not a passive path. It is an active path. And it should be an active path to get you into the world you want to see, the world you want to live in. So when we look at the age of Aquarius, yes, it will be strongly influenced by the aspects of the sign Aquarius. But we don't have to just let whatever unfolds. We can attune ourselves to those energies to bring the more positive ones forward. And the more positive aspects of the sign of Aries, the sign of Aquarius, rather. Aquarius is very humanitarian. It is very progressive. It's very insightful and original. It is very good at looking for solutions to problems. It has a great deal of psychic ability. It is a very positive sign in many ways, and that's what we want to bring forward from Aquarius, like all other signs, also has its negative aspect. Um, and I'm not going to go through them because that's not what we want to focus on. We want to focus on the positive. Now, tomorrow, I'm planning to talk about the Black Moon ritual, with which we will be ending this year. And I want to say hello to Sus Namborg. It's good to see you, Sus. And I hope you're having a wonderful day. Uh, as we end this year on the Black Moon, which is the second new moon for the month of December, it's going to be a very special energy. And we're going to use that energy, again, to help to focus what we're getting. As we go into year 2025 to the wider world. And hello to Judy in the chat room. It's good to see you. And hello to Ed the Pagan in the chat room. It's good to see you. As we go into 2025, there are a lot of things for us to be concerned with in the energies of the day. A lot of things to prepare for. But should we be frightened of it? No, we're magical people. We need to focus on what we wish to create. And we want to use the Black Moon to help us to move in that direction. And speaking for myself, I want to continue to create a world that is safe for the pagan people, safe for the Corellian people. Hello to Tamika. I'm sorry, Tamiko in the chat room. It's good to see you, Tamiko. I want to create a world where everyone can lead a happy and peaceful life if they, in fact, are leading a happy and peaceful life, and not be persecuted simply because of who they are. I want to create a world where the ordinary life of ordinary people gets better rather than getting worse, as it seems to have been doing for some years now. When I was a child, most people felt we were moving in that direction. I'd like to see us return to it. I see no reason we cannot. These are some of the things I want to manifest for the future. And first and foremost is that world that is safe for us and all the different little groups we belong to. And I will say that to some extent, I am a one issue sort of person. My first concern is the safety and prosperity of my people, myself, my family. But I hope for that same future for everyone. And I would love to see us come into a more stable and peaceful moment in history than perhaps we're currently seeing. And can we do that? I see no reason we cannot. I certainly see no reason we should not be putting our utmost effort towards it. So I'm going to ask you to do two things today, and going forward from today through these Epagamenal days at the end of the year. And the first is to think about your life. What do you want to leave behind with the old year? no matter how good your life is, there are going to be things that you want to leave behind. It's just part of the nature of life. I overall have a pretty good life, but there are things that I'll be quite happy to leave behind with year 24. I also want you to think about what you want to bring into your life and into the world in year 25. And, no matter um, no matter how good or bad your life may feel, can always be better than what it is. And when we put our energy into building for the better, we are doing a good thing. We are doing the thing we should be doing. And as magical people, we have the ability to do that. Now, sometimes it takes longer than others, sometimes it takes more effort than others. That's part of life, but we can do it. And, I see some people who are terribly afraid of the political state the world is in, as they should be, but they're reacting to it by hiding under the bed, like some people do with Mercury retrograde. And I always say that's not what you do. If you're hiding under the bed, you don't understand what Mercury retrograde is. It is a time to address imbalances and imperfections under the rulership of Mercury, which we brought to your attention so that you can fix them. I would like to think that we're at a time in history when many of the negativities that are still with us from the past are being brought to our attention so that we can, in fact, fix them. And I think that certainly is going to be what I'm trying to do, and I hope you will too. And Judy says, Reverend Don, I love your hair. It's getting long and beautiful. Thank you, Judy. Um, yeah, my hair has mostly always been long. I won't say it's never been cut short, but not very often. It's been shorter than it traditionally has been because I had it trimmed earlier this year to get rid of split ends and other damage. But it is growing out again, and it probably will not be trimmed in year 25. Yeah, I will continue letting it grow. Years ago, thinking that I needed to find a more mundane occupation, I was probably about 30 at the time. I got myself a conventional haircut, something I generally don't do because I grow my hair for spiritual reasons as well as the fact that I prefer it. But what I found is that not having the long hair really was noticeable to me. And I kept reaching back to play with the tail, and there was no tail. I will never do that again. Uh, as short as it was earlier this year is as short as I'm ever likely to let it be. And so if you're enjoying the hair, it will keep growing. We'll keep growing gray too, but I can't really do much about that. But the beard, on the other hand, we're currently doing the full beard. Some people have said they prefer the full beard. I am curious whether people prefer the full beard or the goatee. But I think we're going to keep the full beard for the cold weather because I'm finding that it's been very helpful for that. But getting back to my subject, um, as I say, I hope that you will take this time to look at what you want to let go of and what you want to develop in your life. The second thing I want to ask you to do is to join us for that Black Moon ritual. We'll be talking more about it tomorrow. Um, and hello to Reverend Ed Carr in the chat room. It's good to see you. Um, we want to use that strong Black Moon energy and other astrological things that are happening to shape the energy of the new year and the new age to move forward. And Mary says, I like the full beard. Thank you, Mary. So I hope that you will join us for that. and I hope that you will find it helpful in shaping your own life as you go forward. Because it's always possible to do magic yourself. And I am a great believer in the idea that you must be able to use magic when you need it, or what's the point? But it's also nice when people come together and pool their energy for the goals they're hoping for. And I hope that you will join us in pooling our energy for a positive shaping of this changing of the age and changing of the year. And I think that this will be very important. And Zane agrees with Mary and likes the beard, the full beard. And Swag Fan says, I was born on the black moon, but it seems like I can't get anything going the way I'd like to. Well, maybe working on the black moon will be beneficial for that, if you were born at that time. And I think you may find the energy going particularly in the directions you want to go. Now, I do want to say, while talking about positive directions and everything else, again, I believe we're also in a period when many of the poisons of the past are being unleashed so they can be dealt with. And that is not a pleasant period. But it may be necessary, because if you do not release the poisons of the past, they merely fester and they keep coming back. Perhaps we can find a way to heal them, to cure them, to actually leave them in the past. And that may mean a rocky time. It may mean a little bit of a storm. But we'll get through that. And we will build the world we want, because we are magical people. It's what we do. And I hope that you will join us for this. And with that, I want to take a moment for a word from our sponsors, because we love our sponsors, as I say every time I do.
Ready to unlock the secrets of the universe? Join me, Rev Don Lewis, for my metaphysical and magic auctions at Gaia Thrift at whatnot.com. Discover fascinating artifacts, mystical crystals, and rare and unusual books that could change your life. Don't miss this chance to bring a little magic into your world. Rev Don's Metaphysical and Magic Auctions, where the extraordinary can become yours.
And thank you to our sponsors, Equinox Learning Hub, and Reverend Don's Metaphysical and Magic Auctions. And if you're interested in our magical and other items, you can also go to the Gaia Thrift page on Facebook, where we have a number of things, particularly advertised at this time. And if you're interested in any of them, even if you're far away, contact us. And we have many interesting things available. And Zane says, is Black Moon the same as Dark Moon? not the same, but it is. It is it is the second new moon in a single calendrical month, in the same way that a blue moon is the second full moon. And it is a very powerful energy. Now, I know some people do not perceive differences between the lunar and solar calendars as significant. I do not come from that point of view. I believe everything is significant. I was talking with my son earlier about there not being such things as coincidences. And so when we have this kind of glitch between the two calendars that we use, I think it is important. And I think it carries its own energy. So I hope that you will join us for that. And I hope you're having a lovely day. And I hope that you had a great ambient holiday if you were celebrating, or a great Christmas if that is your holiday. People ask me what I mean by ambient holiday. Well, it's ambient. It's all around you, whether it's your holiday or not. So it's the ambient holiday. But I had a lovely day. I spent the day with my nephew Jason and his family, and they had a wonderful feast, including roast duck, which was delightful, and many other wonderful things. And there are numerous photos from that on my Facebook. And I hope that you had a wonderful day, whatever you were doing, or if you are not doing anything at all, I hope you still had a great day. And I hope you have a great rest of this day. And with that, let us close with our prayer, as we always do. I'll be back tomorrow when we'll be talking about the Black Moon. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for all that you do for us in our lives, and we ask you to help us to not merely passively react to the forces of the universe, but to harness them, to build the world we want to see, to build the life we want to live, to bring to pass the things we want to bring to pass. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you with great love. Knowing you are always with us, still from respect, we thank you for your presence. May you be blessed now and always. May you be blessed now and always, and I will see you again